Welcome back. This is attorney Patrick Silva, patricktheattorney.com. And in today's video, we're going to discuss some of the legal reasons why a DUI case might be dismissed. Stick around and find out. When it comes to DUI cases, people are usually in two camps. People think you drink, then you drive, you deserve a DUI, or some people think that the government needs to follow the Constitution when enforcing the laws. So let me give you an example. Now let's call a client Jim Beam. Jim Beam been out with the boys or had some cocktails with his wife after dinner. He's driving home, gets popped for DUI, and they tell Jim, hey Jim, your court date's on December 1st. Jim shows up to court and his case isn't on the calendar. So Jim goes over to the clerk's window, says, I was supposed to have court today. And the clerk looks at his ticket, she stamps his ticket and says, oh, well, the paperwork's not done yet, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna send you a courtesy notice of the next court date. So Jim leaves, he has proof that he was there. They'll actually type it in and said this guy appeared. And he goes about his life and he's waiting for that ticket, the new date. It never comes, and life goes on. And Jim starts thinking, maybe they didn't file it. I got lucky. And then about 4 years down the road, Jim's applying for a new job and he applies for the new job and he's about ready to get it. And they say, oh, Jim, we can't hire you. We did a background check and you got a warrant for your arrest. And Jim's like, what do you mean a warrant? Well, I didn't do anything. He goes, well, it says something about a DUI about 4 years ago. Jim then goes and hires a lawyer. The lawyer starts looking at it and interviews Jim and asking about the process and finds out all this stuff. And the lawyer says, well, Jim, there's a legal process the government needs to follow. In the state of California, it's a case called People v. SERNA, and federally, it's a case called Doggett, D-O-G-G-E-T-T. And what the lawyer then does is he files a stack of papers. It's probably about five pages. Has a bunch of case law. It's referencing SERNA. And what SERNA stands for is it's a speedy trial right. What it says is the government cannot sit on their butt and do nothing. They have to actively prosecute you. And if they don't actively prosecute you, then that's a violation of your speedy trial rights and the case should be dismissed. Well, how do you prove it? Well, you kind of prove it by showing, look, I showed up, here's my ticket. The government could have easily found me. They have my mailing address. I haven't moved. I actually went to the DMV and renewed my license, still haven't moved. I actually got stopped for a speeding ticket and the cop never mentioned that I had a problem in court. And I filed my taxes, mailing address is the same. And Jim's saying, I did everything right. And more importantly, it's Jim's lawyer. So they file what's called the SERNA Doggett motion. There's a hearing in court. The attorney for Jim is putting forth the argument saying, look, the government didn't do this, and this. Therefore, his speedy trial rights were violated and it should be dismissed. The judge will weigh it. And if you have a good judge, they'll see that, yes, under SERNA Doggett, it should have been dismissed. Now, I've gotten a lot of these dismissed that way. Now, let's talk about another speedy trial right. And this is going to be the speedy trial right after you announce ready. Now remember, in every jurisdiction, meaning every state has a different process. In California, once we announce ready for trial, they have 10 days to get us a courtroom. Well, with the backlog of cases, sometimes not everybody gets a courtroom. There's only a certain amount of courtrooms and there's only a certain amount of judges that could hear these cases. So you got to think about, well, who has priority? Who does the government want to prosecute? Murderers, rapists, and child molesters. They get the top ones. And then it goes to domestic violence, other felonies, and then bottom of the barrel, a guy that was drinking and driving. So it's happened many times where I've had good cases where I had good hardworking folks. Let's say a electrical lineman, Class A. I needed to beat the case. We beat it, saved his job. And that was in California, Penal Code 1382. So again, it comes down to two schools of thought. Some people are adamant, you drink, then you drive, you deserve a DUI, regardless of the government's duty and obligation to follow the Constitution and follow the law. If you have any suggestions on what you want to hear in the future, just put it down in the comments. This is Attorney Patrick Silva. Have a great day. Out.